Greetings to you all. Today is my birthday. 1988, my 8th birthday, was so special because until the 8th birthday, even in my photos, even I can see myself very vibrant, playful, the child, you know, I can feel her. She's somebody, who was so special. But unfortunately, that August in 1988, I was sexually molested and I left that home with heaviness. I lost interest of life. I felt burden, heavy, and the next birthday, 1989, the ninth birthday, I was completely a different person. The child in me was no longer there. I looked like an adult. Even my clothes, I was like, trying to protect my body. So it was long kind of, things. And there was no playfulness. The photos, even like, very steady and strict, like, like a military person on the, there was no movement, joy, nothing. And I always look at that 8-year-old girl, she was, very playful, gentle. And I'm like, can I bring her back in my life? How she can enjoy back again the life she had once. So it was a journey for me to take her, bring her back alive into this world as who she was. She was so, free. She didn't worry about anything. So that was my journey, and here I am again on my birthday celebrating the life I had and going through everything and now thriving through my childhood sexual abuse and bringing that 8-year-old back again into that freedom, into that safety, because I have become the mother, the protector for myself. So it is actually a journey to come to this level. 2014, the hard circumstances in my life made me to resign my job and everything and move to South Sudan. And one thing I realized, because my dream was Africa and I wanted to be like a Mother Teresa helping others. But when I went there, I realized it's not about doing, it's being. If I want to show love, I have to be love. And as a medical doctor, if I want to heal people, I have to be the healer. I have to be healed because everything flows from us to others. It's not our job. So if I am loved, everybody will be loved. If I am happy, everybody will be happy. If I am healed, I can easily pass that healing to other people. So I realized the work has to be in me, not somewhere else for somebody else. Then, so after that realization, I was taken to Naivasha, Kenya, to a abused home. And honestly, it was the most hardest place in my life. Children were sexually abused at the age of even 1.5. Little baby girl, I can call her Angel, she was sexually abused. And one child, her vaginal area was completely destroyed. And child had HIV because of sexual abuse. It was the hardest part of my life, and until that moment, my childhood sexual abuse was not come to alive. Before that, when I had my boyfriend, I mentioned to him, I said, I can't be a mother. And he asked why, because I said, I'm dirty. Because of that childhood sexual abuse made me. So that was the only time I mentioned about the childhood sexual abuse. Other than that, I never mentioned to anybody that I was sexually abused. So in that home, I was able to feel that girl also among those children who was suffering deep within me. So I couldn't stay there more than a month and I have to leave. And then I met Karin Ramachandra, the Danish counselor in Sri Lanka, with whom I started my journey. So, 2017, I was in front of a court in Sri Lanka asking justice for those uh, some kids who were sexually molested in a home, children's home. So while I was holding that card and asking for justice, there was a small voice in me was saying, when are you going to give me justice? When are you going to, stand for me? And it was the most painful moment because I was like one of the kind of a strong, powerful woman, want to bring justice for these children. But I myself couldn't give that justice for myself. So I gave up that thing and I started to work within myself. So I had this amazing therapist, Dr. Larry Nussbaum. His methods I used, and I was able to heal. And also, I was able to share my story first time publicly, and it was published also. And the childhood sexual abuse stories were published in Tamil, in English. The poems were shared in Tamil and English, different forums. So it became like a kind of a thing to share it out loud. And at the same time, in 2017, 16, actually, one of the abuser came to our home. My family has so much connection with with my childhood sexual abuses. So when he was there, I had a very severe headache. Then my counselor said, your body is reacting. The body can't accept it anymore. Either you have to tell your family that they should not bring these men into the house, or you have to leave the home. So my family was not ready to keep them. It's forgive. You forgive them. You move on. So they were, because we have been living, even though they sexually molested me at the age of 8, until age of at least I will say, you know I left, even 2013 I met them. So we were continuing our journey. They were part of, even the same bed I was sexually molested. I was sleeping in that same bed as an adult too. So journey continued. So 2000, even 17, I was in the same house where I was sexually molested. But my therapist, counselor made a big thing. You have to make a choice for yourself. Either you leave, or because this no contact with the abuser was a big deal for me, because they are part of my life. They are family members. They have been from the childhood taking care of me, doing every good thing to me. So I couldn't know how to, this incident happened, but there are so many beautiful good things also they have done to me. So I didn't know how to remove them and, from my life. But luckily I was able, to leave home, because my my family was not ready to accept that, like, to keep them away from home. So I left, and no contact with the family, and that helped me to move. And there is a, at the beginning there was so much guilt and shame, and it's like my family blood is thicker than the water, so I am the one who is leaving and going, coming out of them. And I felt very much uncomfortable of that, but now I'm really happy because I have to do it for myself, and that gave so much freedom and confidence for my little child that I will do anything and everything for her, and I will be with her. And honestly, this birthday is celebration of healing, love, safety, protection, and I am the one who is providing everything for myself. So it's almost the reparenting of the inner child. And I'm so grateful that I have come to that level of, thriving through as a thriver. And because a long time I was a survivor and I was a victim. I'm now, today I'm 46, but 8 to 15, 8 to 35, I was a victim. And 35 to somewhere 40 something, I was a survivor. As a survivor, I shared my story. And today, as a thriver, I'm so proud of myself that I have passed through the surviving stage and living completely fully myself and celebrating my birthday, a gift for myself and my life. And I'm grateful that journey which took me to this stage, and I'm grateful to all who has supported my life, especially counselors, therapists, healers, friendships. There were so many amazing healing friendships, and everybody has made me to this level, uh, helped me to have a new born experience, a risen experience on this birthday. So grateful to everybody and thankful to everybody. Thank you.